Welcome to another episode of Beauty Debates. I have probably tried many methods to secure a place of confidence that is never broken down, which I think is the ideal, right? So you go and read books and you educate yourself, you feel more confident, you go to therapy to improve yourself on all of your issues, whether it's a personality disorder, attachment issue, abandonment issue, whatever it is, you work on those things to try and genuinely know yourself so you can accept yourself and be confident. There is just so many things I have done to feel such a secure sense of confidence that it's just not going to be broken down again. I'm not going to go through the same issues again. Yet it happens again. I go through phases of feeling confident and I go through phases of feeling not confident. I have come to realize that your confidence being broken down is not a sign that you're not confident. If your confidence was never broken down, you would have had to be a narcissistic person for your confidence to never get affected by external circumstances. Because having even a little bit of doubt about yourself, where in the face of situations that you're unsure about, that you're experiencing for the first time, it actually shows a sign of open-mindedness, and you being correct or you being right comes second and the reality of the situation comes first. Therefore, you're obviously confident enough to explore this situation and see where you fit in with things, basically. So I think it's actually a sign of true self-esteem to doubt yourself every now and then. But if you're someone who has this chronic like self-depreciation, obviously questioning yourself in every single situation is not helpful, and it's actually gonna make you more and more insecure, and you're never gonna feel like you're gonna have something to hold on to. This is what I'm struggling with. I am struggling because the more I have taught myself about things, the more I have learned about things, the more I realize I don't know a lot of things. So when I see someone that is extremely confident about their position, or if I see an idea that is fully backed up by the general society and I don't feel aligned with it, I constantly go back to questioning myself. I don't back myself up because I genuinely want to know the truth. I want to know the best version of this. And I think my perfectionism is what gets in the way of this. I think me never feeling like I'm a secure source of behavior and whatever it is, I think that's the issue. If you have been doubted a lot in your childhood, I think it does translate to something like this. I want to share a few of the things that I've realized and how it's helping me keep going with my own self development and my process of trusting myself. Because every time my confidence gets broken down, you have the tendency to feel like, oh, I did it wrong again. I didn't make it work. I just want to share what has been working for me. I realized the more confident I become, the more I enter new spaces because the more I'm getting out of my comfort zone. And when I do that, I face new challenges and I face things that I'm afraid of. And every single time I'm doing that, I'm bound to feel fear. I'm bound to feel stress and anxiety and feel unsure of myself because I'm not in a space that I feel sure of myself. If anything, feeling confident has made me feel ready to experience new things. So it's normal for me to encounter situations that are going to make me feel not as confident. But moving through those spaces and moving through those feelings is what's going to make me feel confident again, because I'm going to face challenges and I'm going to get over them. The true source of confidence is always knowing that there was a difficult situation and I dealt with it well. If there will be a difficult situation in the future, I will deal with it again. That is the whole point of confidence. It's not the lack of anxiety where you think nothing wrong is going to happen. It's if something wrong happens, I'm going to be okay. That is what I define confidence as. So obviously entering those new things is going to challenge your confidence, and then you're going to try new things and then you're going to succeed in them, hopefully. So that's one of the reasons why I think feeling a lack of confidence is actually a sign that you're in this process still. You're in this zone and you're never going to get out of the zone. If you have children one day, you're going to have anxieties and insecurities about how good of a mom you are. If you change careers and start a new job, you're not going to be sure how good you are. But I think the most important thing to secure our confidence, especially if you are a self-critical person who has an inner critic that literally is so mean, you would not want anyone to hear what they sound like. I think it's so important for us to have a very strong sense of security in our values, because My thoughts might be wrong, my behaviors might be wrong, my assumptions about people might be wrong. So many things might be uneducated, but your values are what matter to you. So as an example, let's say I am in a space or a group, or we're doing something, whether it's work or school or even sometimes friendships, it can be anything. Let's say someone does something and I feel hurt by it. Before I allow myself to feel hurt, or before I allow myself to be annoyed by that thing, I actually observe my surroundings to see who else is reacting or who else is okay with this. So what happens is I'm basically putting my surroundings' opinion of what's right and wrong before my feelings and before my experience. And this is so toxic. What if I'm in a space that's full of crazy people? What if I'm in a space full of sociopaths? And I think this has happened, and I am reflecting back on it now, and I'm like, I was actually crazy for thinking that that should be okay. I am struggling with this so much, where I constantly look outwards to be like, so is this an okay thing? Even though I'm someone who challenges ideas all the time, when it's about me that's getting wronged, I don't have the same defense mechanism. If it was someone else that's wrong in that way, I can go back to my values and be like, you know what, I don't agree with this, and this person shouldn't go through this, and I will advocate. But when it happens to me, I struggle to realize the importance of it, because I don't have a secure sense of confidence in what I think is right or wrong. So I keep thinking, well, I think this is right, but maybe this is a new norm that I don't know about. The issue is, yes, I don't know many things and I'm not going to know everything, but I need to have a line where I say, well, until I acquire more information and until I know what's right or wrong, I need to be able to say, okay, this is actually not okay with me. And if I was wrong, yes, I can change my mind after, but I need to learn to respond in that moment based on my feelings rather than what I think is correct by other people. And this is what requires that confidence, that even if it's right or wrong, I feel this way, I am experiencing this, and I'm gonna act on that. And sometimes I think, oh, maybe it's normal for them to do this. This is too much thinking to do when you're in a space where you need to protect yourself, help yourself, and live a good life in the moment. So what I am trying to do right now is to go back to my values in every single situation. So let's say the same situation happened, I've been treated a certain way, or I've been spoken to in a certain way. Even though this might be their personality, even though they might not mean it in a bad way, does this align with my values? Would I want to be treated like this, and would I treat someone else like this? Even if it's not something wrong that they did, I still deserve to stand up for myself, and I still actually owe it to myself to stand up for myself and say, I don't do this, and I don't like this, and it needs to end. And I might be delulu in that moment, I might be overreacting in that moment, it doesn't matter. The point is that I need to put my own feelings first. I think this is what I'm trying to learn. This isn't for the people who are already great at this and are just trying to take up extra space. This is, I think, for people who maybe had people pleasing tendencies, and then they also maybe were quite fragile in some areas, and then they learned that our feelings is not anyone else's responsibility. We need to deal with our own feelings. And then because you don't have a strong sense of self in what you can say is right or wrong, now you're a perfect opportunity for people to take advantage of and for people to walk all over you, basically. So I think the best thing to do is go back to your values and say, does this align with my values? So I'm teaching myself, when I feel hurt by something, it's not a sign that I'm still weak, or I'm still insecure, or I'm still unwell. Maybe that thing is actually wrong. It's truly wrong, and I have too much of an open mind on what can be acceptable and not acceptable by people. And you're not hurt by something because you haven't developed enough or you haven't healed enough. I saw someone say, there's no amount of healing that's going to stop you from being affected by things, that's going to stop you from caring about things. That's not the point of healing. The point of healing is so that when you're hurt or affected by those situations, you move through that situation and that pain in a way that aligns with you. That is what healing is. It's not about not feeling anything when you encounter a situation. It can still hurt you the same way. It can even trigger you the same way. It might still take you back to certain times or certain versions of yourself. But how do you respond to that and move through that time in a way that aligns with you now? I think this is the most important thing. And I really want us to focus on building confidence around that. It's like, if I'm struggling, it doesn't mean I'm not confident. If I'm feeling shit about myself, or I'm actually questioning myself, it's not a sign that I'm not confident. It's not a sign of all the work that I've done has gone. That's not what it's indicating. I think we need to realize that if you have done so much work on your confidence and you're still feeling so insecure at times, you're either putting yourself in a new space that you haven't been put into before, and you're challenging yourself and you're facing things that you're fearing, which is why you feel that anxiety, or you are going through a really difficult time with people or things around you that are genuinely not meant for you at that time, and you are struggling with things and you're unable to name the situation as bad enough. You're still questioning yourself. I want us to focus on this so that we can honor all the work that we've done and be motivated to do more of it, because it's never enough to get to know yourself. Every single situation is teaching us how to do this in a more automatic response. Things are still going to be hard. People are still going to be shitty, and you're going to be wrong sometimes. I am constantly working on this, and I've been working on my confidence for so long. I've been doing therapy for like 6 years, and I think for me, it's not about getting to a perfect spot. I think it's more about understanding how I can ride those waves with the minimum amount of hurting myself. So I will still appreciate the times when I feel down. I will still appreciate the times when I'm up. And it's always when I feel a little bit better, I realize how shit I was actually feeling. I think I am feeling a little bit more confident now than I did, let's say, a little while ago. And I'm now looking back and thinking how difficult that was for me. Because if you don't have confidence, you also sometimes struggle to understand how much you're struggling right now, because you don't feel confident enough to put that much importance on yourself. You're not confident enough to admit how much something hurts. You don't value yourself enough to admit that. So those feelings can come up and they can go. They're not permanent. If you never lost confidence, if you never felt insecure, you would genuinely be a narcissistic person, which is probably not it. And self-assuredness comes through being okay with parts of you that you don't necessarily appreciate. And it's just all a part of being human. And that's what I'm working on. And I hope it's useful to you to hear what I'm working on. No matter how someone else presents themselves or what they choose to put out to the world, we're never in their head. We never know what they're actually feeling or going through. And we're all probably very much alike. And none of us are probably that special that we're the only person who's doubting themselves. It's not the case. I hope that this is useful for you guys. Thank you so much for listening. And the setup is not perfect. Like, what is going on? It's life. I'm still doing everything with my own capacity. So I recommend the same. If you have ever thought about opening a YouTube channel or whatever, please just do it. It's genuinely so fun. Even if you have little breaks, it's so fun to come back to it. And any creative project you have in mind, please do it. Every single video I try to give the same message, that if you have any project, any personal things or expressions or art that you want to do, please get into it right away. You don't know what's waiting for you on the other side. And this is the same thing about confidence. The confidence is coming through stepping into those spaces. You're stepping into it because you're more confident and you're less afraid of the failure. So that when you do face the failure, it doesn't mean it's not going to hurt you. It just means that you're less afraid. You can be afraid of many things on many different levels. So just keep that in mind. I love you all. I genuinely have so much love for anyone who takes 3 seconds to even watch any of my videos. I genuinely value it so much, and I can't wait to share more with you. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed the beach behind me, and I'm sending so much love. Mwah. Take care.